What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. You're joining me at dusk here at the Kinville compound, and I'm gonna pull my van down around to the basement and get my other seat. Let me open the door here. You can see my other seat is missing. It's down in the basement right now. I was trying to clean up these floors a little bit more. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They're in rough shape. It needs to really be scrubbed with a brush and soap and water. But this thing is not in great condition. If you look up here, there's a big old rip on the driver's side of that seat. Not the seat. On the driver's side of the floor, there's that big rip. And, you know, so I think I'm just going to replace it. But for right now, I cleaned it up a little bit just so it didn't look horrible. But it's going to get dirty again, and I'm not super worried about it. But we're going to go get the seat out of the basement and throw it back in. And I'm starting the video right here because of the amount of pine needles on the front of the van here. I guess I'm going to have to pick a new spot to park for the rest of the fall here until the snow flies and the leaves stop dropping. But yeah, anyway, let's go down to the basement and grab my other seat. Alright, so I'm down here in the basement now, and my chair is right here underneath all my camping stuff. So let's get this stuff moved out of the way. Alright, so seat is in position. I got the nuts for it, but we're gonna go up to the garage and get some tools and tighten it down. But while I'm down here at the basement, I have one other thing I want to grab. Right here in this corner of this back room in the basement, I've got this section here. I'm not quite sure how big of a section of carpet this is. This is like a indoor-outdoor carpet. There's not a lot to it. Obviously, it's pretty thin stuff, but I was just going to throw it down on the van floor just so it was a little bit more comfortable in there. And yeah, anyway, I wanted to grab it while I was down here. So we're going to stretch this baby out on the van floor and see how it looks. One of the best parts about this time of year is that it is dark out, and it's, if you can see my watch, it is 6:17 and it's already dark out, so we're working out here with a flashlight because, well, let me show you. You know, I probably could have moved my brother's truck to get into the garage, but I figured because we're doing a pretty minimal job here, I would just do it outside. And of course, doing it outside at 6 o'clock means doing it in the dark this time of year. So oh, don't get stuck on me now. That was almost so easy. There we go. It was so easy. Nice and easy. That didn't take much work at all. And now we've got our seat mounted back, and let's see if we can slide it back. There we go. It's kind of nice to keep the seat slid back, because otherwise when you slide it forwards, the side of it blocks the entire window here, which is annoying when you're trying to drive. But let's spread this carpet out. And if you saw the last video, these are Blaze's tires, which I got to get back to him in the next little while here. whether I bring him back to his house or he comes and picks him up. We'll find out. He might come and get him tonight, actually. But anyway, let's go ahead and spread this carpet out and see. Let's see what it looks like. One thing I gotta do, I need a handle. Let me see. Let me adjust you guys so you can see what I'm talking about. The van sits up so high. I'm a tall person, all right? I'm 6'2". I'm not a small person, but this van is pretty tall, and I need something to hold on to. I can reach up and grab the top of the van myself because I got these extremely long arms, so I grab the roof of the van and pull myself up. But I don't think everybody is going to be able to do that. So at some point I got to put a handle, drop it down. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm thinking probably like, what do you call it? I don't know, the stuff seatbelts are made out of. Something like that, looping it through here. Oh, there go my cab lights, they just shut off. Great, it's even darker in here now. But anyway, a handle to hold on to when you climb into the van would be pretty epic. I'm gonna grab another light so we can see what we're doing in here. I mean, I can see all right, but you guys can't see shh. Oh yeah, we're lighting it up in here now. We got the Milwaukee lightsaber. Check that out. It really does look like a lightsaber on camera. All right, I'm a nerd. Leave me alone. We're gonna prop this baby up right there. Just give us a little more lighting to film with. And this, I'm gonna shake out the door here a little bit. I'm gonna move these tires around a little bit. Not too much. I don't want to monkey with them more than I have to, but we're just gonna make it a little bit neater back here so we can spread this carpet out. Perfect. Now, I'm going to take our carpet just like this, and it's just about, I was going to say just about perfect. I was figuring it would fit right in between my wheel wells back here, and there goes my lightsaber. Prop you up in the corner there. So there you have it. Obviously it's temporary and it's rough, but it's gonna just make it just a little bit more comfortable in here for the time being, and you know, I like it okay. I thought I would come and sit down in the back here with the lighting on my face so you guys could actually see my face while I'm rambling, but not that comfortable sitting on just this thin carpet on the middle floor. It's really not that great. But I do plan on getting a nice thick rubber mat to go on this floor. I found this one, me and my dad, we were looking, and we found, I wish I could remember the company, but I'll let you guys know when I order it. You can get this rubber mat. It's a thick rubber mat, and it has, it's shaped to the ribs of the floor. So see how the floor is ribbed like this? It's got all these grooves. Well, this rubber mat is trimmed to fill in the gaps, so it's going to leave me with a smooth floor, and hopefully it's going to be a little bit softer to sit on. Obviously it's not going to be super soft, that's not what we're looking for, but we're just looking for softer than metal. And I think this rubber floor, at the very least making it smooth, a smooth floor is going to make it more comfortable to sit on, because I can sit on a hard floor, but sitting on these ribs is kind of uncomfortable really. But yeah, that's the plan. Basically in my head right now, I have sort of a loose list of things I want to do to the van, and I have an order I want to do it. I want to get the floor in here, I want to get this thing insulated, and I'm thinking foam board insulation. I'm just going to get sheets and cut it to go in between each one of these ribs here, and on the ceiling too. And then I don't know what I'm going to get. Maybe spray foam, maybe just even fiberglass insulation just to shove in these cracks. I'm not super worried about it, but if I'm gonna do it, I might as well do it right and try and insulate it as best I can on the walls and the ceiling. And like I said, the floor, I'm just gonna put a rubber mat down, which it'll help a tiny bit. It's not gonna do a ton insulation wise, but you know, it's not going to be perfect. You know, if I want to insulate the ceiling and insulate the floor, I'm going to wind up losing 3 or more inches of height in here, which I don't really want to do. You know, the only reason I'm going to insulate the ceiling is because, like you can see here, there's these ribs here, and I'm at least going to insulate it so it's flush with the ribs, trying to save as much height in here as possible. So anyway, so my list, right? Things I want to do. Floor comes first, then insulation. Then after insulation, I'm going to get my solar setup and diesel heater setup. This is all my ideas. You know, who knows how it's going to work out in real life, but this is just what I'm thinking in my head. Floor, insulation, solar system, and diesel heater. When I think of my solar system, the only reason I would put a solar system in the van right now is because I want that diesel heater for the winter. And I could set up some kind of alternator charging system, but in my opinion, solar panels are they're not that expensive anymore. Back in the day, I guess they used to be quite a bit more expensive, but in recent years, prices on solar panels I feel like are pretty reasonable. And for how well they worked on my last van, I can't see not having them. I'm going to do exactly the same solar setup at first in this van. I'm going to do 200 watt, I'm going to get, what were they? I think I had 2 100 watt solar panels, so a total of 200 watts of solar, and then I had a 200 amp hour Renogy battery. I got all my stuff from Renogy solar panels, Renogy battery. For whatever reason, I just figured that would work out good. But yeah, my plan is I'm going to get the same setup I had in my last van for my solar and my diesel heater. And in the future, if I want to expand my solar beyond 200 watts of solar, because I got a lot of roof space up there, I could fit at least 400 watts of solar up there, no problem, without it being an issue. What I'm thinking, initially I'll do the same setup I had in my last van, and that'll be to run the diesel heater, a couple of fans, and some lights. And then, in the future, if I want to upgrade, I'm going to do a completely separate system. I'm not going to wire the two systems together. I'm going to have a separate system running a refrigerator and I'll probably have more lights and more power outlets. But what I'm thinking in my head, just something, because I've watched every van video on YouTube by now, everybody does these big solar systems and these big setups, and they have it all wired together, which is great. It's great so you can have a huge battery bank that can last you a long time. But what I'm thinking about is what happens if something fails? What happens if something breaks? In my opinion, it would be nice to have 2 individual systems. That way, if one of them broke, you were not completely without power. You'd still have one system that would still work to run some lights, charge your phone. If it came down to it, you could plug the heater into it, or say the refrigerator one went down in the middle of summertime, and I'm not using the diesel heater. Well, then I can wire the fridge up to the where the diesel heater was previously wired. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I'm kind of just rambling here, talking to you guys, thinking about the van, but yeah, I don't know. It's exciting, and hopefully you guys are just as excited as I am. We're gonna get moving on this thing. You know, right now my motivation is pretty high, and I'm trying to ride that wave as best I can and keep getting a few things here and there done. But like I said, next step, I'm going to order the floor mat for this thing, and then we'll go ahead and get it insulated. And speaking of that, I think I'm going to go order the floor mat right now. I'm sitting here thinking, here's what I was thinking, right? I wanted to order some tires for this thing, and I figured that was the most expensive part of the build, was going to be getting some tires, some nice bigger. I'm thinking 35-inch off-road tires. The tires that are on it that I put on in the last video, those are 37s, and that's what's currently on the van right now. And I'm thinking a little bit smaller, a 35-inch tire, but I'm gonna get something a little bit beefier than what's on it now. Right now it's got, I don't even know what you call them. In my opinion, it's like a street tire, but I want like an off-road mud tire, so I'm gonna get a little bit smaller of a tire, but it's gonna have a more aggressive tread. And I was thinking of doing that first before I did anything else to the interior, but as I'm thinking about it, you know, it's like, well, the tires aren't completely bald. It's not gonna snow for at least another month, maybe two, you know. So I'm thinking I might chip away at the inside a little bit more before I throw some tires on the outside. I don't know. Again, I'm just rambling. I'm really excited to get working on this thing. And yeah, anyway, I guess I'm going to leave you guys here because it's pitch black out and I'm sitting here with some LED lights blasting me in the face, and I don't have anything else planned, and if I keep rambling, I'm just going to edit it all out anyway. So hopefully you guys enjoyed, and hopefully you stay tuned and subscribe, because we're going to get working on this thing and hopefully have it, I want to have it campable by this winter, because it's a 4x4. We're going to take it to some ski areas hopefully, and maybe camp out. Fingers crossed. We'll see what happens. I mean, I'm totally willing to go to a ski area and maybe get in trouble in the parking lot for trying to camp there. We'll see what happens. But with the four-wheel drive in this thing, I'm not afraid of getting stuck in the snow. Whereas my last van, I was terrified of getting stuck in the snow because it would happen pretty easily. I'm still rambling. I can't stop rambling. Guys, comment down below podcasts. If you want me to do a podcast, if I get one person to comment podcasts, I'll post one, because I can talk ad nauseum for hours and hours and hours, and I can just be completely by myself, because I'm a weirdo and I can't stop talking. When I get excited anyway, I can be pretty chatty. So, alright, that's the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.